È il più bel campionato del mondo che esista.
E aí, pessoal, agora eu tô aqui no Campeonato Mundial, no Canadá, em Mont-Saint-Anne.
Bienvenue au championnat du monde au Mont-Saint-Anne à Québec.
Welcome to the World Mountain Bike Championships.
We pick up the ride of the young Frenchwoman, 20-year-old Novine Licard. Her first World Cup win came on this course in 1995.
This girl looks hot coming through. She has the fastest fastest intermediate time so far. She is a junior World Championship gold medalist, and she's really got an itch to win here.
Last 2 World Cups this season, she was second to her teammate Chausson. Great French story, French domination. She's holding that line. The rain is really starting to come down now. This is an incredible performance given the conditions right now. And look at that time coming in.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. She's picked up that much time in this condition.
Wow, Licard with over 11 seconds to spare. So we see the French continuing to dominate this course at Mont-Saint-Anne with the fog at the top and the rain at the bottom.
A lead by 11 seconds.
The conditions are really getting poor by the moment here. She doesn't have a bad split time, 5 seconds back. So Alicia Scher, she comes from a small program, Roadtech, out of Southern California, so she doesn't have the big factory support, but she is obviously a good rider, willing to take chances, but often, Susan, she falls down because she does take those chances. Not today so far. She looks great.
She does, and you just saw her pull off from her glasses a plastic covering that was obviously covered with mud. The riders at this point are going to be wearing these kind of things that they're able to get rid of that mud on their eyeglasses by just tearing off a piece of plastic.
Carrying speed, nice through the descent. Now again, you can just see how incredibly icy these turns are getting. Good time.
Novine Licard from France, so far our leader, and Lisa Scher, 5:44.2, so that puts her in second place overall. And 10 riders to go, including Missy Giove, Lee Donovan, and defending world champion Anne-Caroline Chausson, and it's raining at Mont-Saint-Anne. At the top, the 35-year-old Spaniard Mercedes Gonzalez, second of the 95 Worlds, 7th last year, 9-time World Motocross champion. We're starting to see more and more of the big names come down this mountain.
Oh, Mercedes is just attacking this course as if there weren't one drop of water on it. I'm really surprised to see, and that's an aggressiveness that she's going to need to have if she wants to surpass Novine, but that was beautiful.
Mercedes Gonzalez coming into the bottom third section of this downhill course on Mont-Saint-Anne. This current Spanish downhill champion. Her split, not great. 16.85 seconds back from Novine Licard. So having some problems in the difficult single track sections, or just not letting the speed roll when it's open like this. She's driving on the pedals, but the time she is losing continuously.
Well, I have to say her form looks perfect. Her technique is absolutely what you want to see. However, there's just no way around the conditions here. Unfortunately, Novine was one of the last women to go through when the course was still in pretty good shape. Odds are these last few racers who go down are going to have to overcome a lot more.
Well, it's raining at the bottom, harder and harder. The lights are on in the mountain because the fog has made it so dark. Mercedes Gonzalez, her time across the finish line, 5:54.26, so that puts her in 9th position overall. Let's take a look at our standings. Novine Licard is still our leader. American Lisa Scher in second place. Only 5 riders remain, including the world champion Anne-Caroline Chausson.
5 seconds.
It has been a great year for 30-year-old American Elke Broussard wearing bib number 6. She was 4th at last year's World Championships and 5th in the 97 World Cup overall. Great 97.
Well, Elke's had good luck here in Mont-Saint-Anne. I know she likes the course. She loves speed. Terrific at those fast straightaways that you're going to see. Well, we're not going to see because it's so foggy.
Elke Broussard now on the bottom third of the section of this course. Very wet, very treacherous at this point. The lights on the mountain are on because the conditions are so difficult.
Broussard having a terrifically difficult time keeping it under control. It is so extremely slippery now. You can see by the back of her jersey, she's taken some mud, maybe off a tree, maybe off a fall, but she's 18 seconds, Susan, out of the lead at this point, so no hope for her.
So disappointing for these American women because coming to the World Championships, the Americans had one of the strongest teams. They have such great all-around downhill racers on the women's side. It's really unfortunate they have to contend with these circumstances.
So Novine Licard taking advantage of an earlier start when the conditions weren't quite so bad. We could have a tremendous upset because we are getting down to it right now.
Elke was 4th at last year's World. She's going to be 11th so far. 5:56.37 is her time.
Elke Broussard now arriving at the finish line. 5:56.37 for the United States.
5 seconds.
Our next American up at the top, Sherry Elliott, the 28-year-old, second in the 1998 NORBA overall standings, descends into the fog of Mount St. Anne.
Well, last year Sherry was the U.S. national champion in 1997 on the downhill. She's got a lot of confidence, a lot of exuberance. She's very excited about trying to medal in these world championships. She wants to prove a point to her European counterparts, and she has a very nice history in BMX racing. I believe that she's taking that fast section up there very, very well. Looks like she's only almost 4 seconds back at the preliminary time. So in these conditions, that is an excellent result so far.
This 5'2" gal carrying some terrific speed through the trees. You can really tell the difference. She's just hanging on, letting the bike flow, almost tagging the trees, but has a tremendous feel for the line. That low center of gravity really working well for Sherry Elliott, and that experience in BMX, which she had a great career in. She's really able to feel the wheels onto the dirt and just drive them where she wants to.
Look at that, really having to tripod around that corner there. Nice technique. Again, on this side here too.
The time to beat, 5:37.03. Sherry Elliott crossing the finish line, 5:37, 5:38, 5:39, 5:40.21. Hey, that puts her in second place with only 3 riders to go. And the next rider, of course, is Missy Giove. Great time for Sherry Elliott.
5:40.21, just 3.81 seconds off the pace.
21
Here
seconds.
is Missy Giove at the top, the 1994 world champion at Vail. What will happen? She takes so many chances. Is she going to come up with a great time, or will it be disaster?
Missy Giove under so much pressure here, the most highly paid woman in the sport right now. Her contract is up. She has not had great rides. She has not had great success on this particular course. Her qualifying, she had trouble with her bike. She is really frustrated, yet she did win this event held last year on this similar course. But again, the conditions deteriorating rapidly.
They are, and Missy needs to keep good control of her mental state right now. Things are going downhill, but she needs to remain positive, and she knows that. She's been in this position many times. She's always the one that people are looking towards.
Missy Giove has had Giove-esque problems here. She is 45 seconds back, so likely she was throwing it all out there, as she often does, and she ended up throwing it too far. So Giove going to be incredibly frustrated with this ride, not even in the top 10 at this point.
To hand it to her, though, she looks like she's still giving it everything she can around those corners. She's still keeping up her speed, handling those technical sections over those rocks really nicely.
Susan, you got to think, for a woman like this, though, there's going to be tears streaming down under those goggles right now. How frustrating is that when you set up so hard, so specifically, so focused, and yet you come into the finish line and you are so far behind.
The 2-time World Cup overall champion is going to finish well back of our leader, Noven Lecar's time, 6:25.23. So disappointing for the missile, Missy Giove. Now 2 to go.
Go!
Lee Donovan now on the course, 4th in the World Cup overall.
Digger is so looking forward to this race. Taking a little bit different line there.
Donovan really letting that bike rock. She is flying down this course. She spent the most time of any downhiller here in Mont St. Anne. She's been here 10 entire days, completely dialing in this course, focusing her mental preparation, focusing her equipment on this. She is such a good rider. This Mongoose bike performing extremely well. She's got Brian Lopes, her counterpart teammate on Mongoose. They go back and forth with strategy, and Lee Donovan really railing it down the hill at this moment. She's 5 seconds back off the split. Let's see how she does at the finish line.
Looks like I think she needs to be a little more aggressive if she wants to find herself a medal near the end.
She won the World Championships back in 1995. She was the only one close to Chausson in the seeding round, 5:45.37. So no, she's off the podium in 4th position right now, and Noven Lecar, her time has held up through 11 riders. Amazing.
Well, Sherry Elliott is sitting in the back there watching these riders progress, going right on, looking good for me.
Here she is at the top. She has never lost in the World Championship competition. She won it all in 96, won it all in 97, finally passed Missy Giove at this year's World Cup overall standings, the dominating 20-year-old Anne-Caroline Chausson.
Chausson already wigging it out there. She is confident. She gets some air right off the line. Look at her throw herself into that turn. Chausson is just driving down this hill. Fantastic. The world champion. She knows what it takes. She is so incredibly focused on what she has to do. Her son team is dying. She's on the contract. She's ready to go.
Anybody would want to hire this woman. I mean, just look at her technique. She's going right down the center of that single track there. Not intimidated by any of the rocks or the roots. Not intimidated by the weather. Very nice aggressiveness throughout. Looks like her preliminary time, too, at the top again, even in these conditions.
Fastest split so far. This woman, you can see the skin suit, everything prepared, everything focused. The French come in here. They are absolutely wired for medals, and it looks no different today so far for Novan Lecaire is in the lead, but Chasson comes down and drives beautifully through this course. No other woman has the control. No other woman has the power to ride like a cat. In these conditions, incredible.
The woman, we should all take a lesson from her because she has the beautiful technique. She's still stomping Novan Lecaire.
5:37.03, the time to be 5:26.47. It would have been a huge upset if we lost, and she knows she's won it. And Caroline Chausson, once again, world champion by 11 seconds.
Alors encore une fois, 2 médailles pour la France qui montrent leur suprématie.
That was a fantastic job by Anne-Caroline Chausson. Not only did she have such a tremendous lead coming into the end, she did it in the worst of all conditions. This is the kind of rider she is, and that is why she's so respected by the rest of the women on that circuit.
What an absolute professional right there. It was her race to lose. Everybody said the biggest upset at this entire World Championships would be if Anne-Caroline Chausson lost her event. Well, she not only didn't lose, she completely ran away with it.
So the top 5 are dominated by the French and the Americans. And Caroline Chausson wins yet again. Novan Lecaire, well, her time held up until this woman. She finishes second. Sherry Elliott on the podium in third. And then Lisa Shear and Lee Donovan round out the top 5. Excellent day for the Americans.
It's a great day for the Americans. And Sherry Elliott, who has not yet had a medal at World Championships, is going to be very, very pleased with her ride.
We are looking at a total master, though, here from France.
The top of the course, number 4, Bas de Bever, the 30-year-old from the Netherlands. And so far on course, our leader is Wilfred van de Hotter from the Netherlands. Bas de Bever was third at the 96 Worlds in Australia. And the top of the course, the fog has lifted. You may remember from the women's race you just saw a few moments ago, and now to the bottom third of the section.
Bas de Bever has the fastest split. Now, these are some of the early starters in this men's downhill. The rain has let up, so the mud is settling down here. Susan DiMattei, they are starting to come down pretty fast.
They are, and the rain has let up, but still, the conditions sometimes get even worse once there's no rain falling because the mud gets sticky. So this is some slick surface. We've seen some of the riders come down previously, not as highly ranked in the qualifying rounds, that had a difficult time of it, losing even some equipment on the way down. Bas looks like he's really good form. Nice take on that turn.
Bas de Bever having himself a great time. The 5:10.63 to time to beat. 5 minutes flat, so he is in first place so far with plenty more to come from Mont Saint-Anne. Second at the last World Cup final in '98. That was in Japan.
Well, he has a foreboding teammate in Nicolas Vouillot. And oftentimes when these two were racing, in fact, at their national championships in France, he beat Nico on that course. So not intimidated by the big names in the business.
And Vouillot will be starting to look back for this guy at 18. He is certainly a rider of the future. And I tell you what, he's having a great ride right now because his split time gives him the fastest so far going down this course. Bas de Bever better watch out because Mikhail is just riding like the wind, really working the bars, getting into the course, finding his line. The French so good at dialing this course right in.
Oh, and look, he's got his BMX shoes on, meaning he doesn't have any clip-in pedals, so he can get out of the corners just like that. He needs to put his foot out, tripod action around those corners. Very important that they can get back on those pedals.
Mikhail had crashed in his qualifying run, and look at this, 5 minutes was the time he had to beat, 4:56.5. So the Frenchman moves it to first place, and Bas de Bever.
5 seconds.
This is Brian Lopes, the 1998 Norba National Champion. Eric Carter, an American, is 5th. So this is our last chance for an American on the podium.
You can see he gets such a quick start. Talk about some leg speed. This guy knows how to pedal his bike at over 100 RPMs.
Lopes is the guy who wants to challenge the Olympic sprint great Marty Notstein from the track to a 1-on-100-meter dash. He says, I will kill the guy. He has such great leg speed, but on this course, doesn't work to his favor. Not enough technical sections where he has to slow down and speed up. His split time, good. 4 seconds out so far, Susan.
That's the
good ride for the American.
Definitely the most promising. We've got Eric Carter in 5th position. Now Brian needs to do something big here. He needs to make up some time in this last kilometer.
A little bit sketchy through the trees, just trying to hold on to the bike. So little time to build yourself back as you get down to the bottom of this course. The fatigue setting in. This man is so powerful. He does a lot of weight training. He is mentally tough, completely focused. The guy is an absolute joy. Always has a smile on his face. He's a dual slalom king. Downhill, he'd love to rule.
And he's absolutely used to taking his feet out around those corners. This is natural territory for him. Oh, he just made a bad bobble that could cost him just a little bit.
4:56.5, the time to beat. Brian's time, 5:02.88. That currently puts him in 3rd place. Will that stand? That is going to be awfully tough. And this is Gerwin Peters having himself an excellent ride. 21 years old from the Netherlands.
Netherlands has got this course dialed. Bas de Bever, 2nd place time all the way through. Now this guy has the fastest split so far. So Holland is on it today in this downhill world championships.
We haven't seen anybody beat that preliminary time coming through in over 20 riders. So this is saying something for this guy's level of skill.
It also says that Holland is coordinated in their coaching staff. They're taking the feedback up from Bas de Bever, calling up there and saying, hey, make the suspension adjustments, make the tire pressure adjustments, and it's working.
Oh,
4:56, the time to beat. Oh, he almost biffed it there, but look at this. He is going to take the overall lead, 4:52.38, and that has got to be a surprise.
Avec un temps de 4:52.38, malheureusement pour Michael Pascal, mais c'est ce qu'on veut voir. On veut voir de l'action, on veut voir du changement.
Gerwin Peters, fantastic ride for this Dutchman. He rode well in qualifying, 9th. We haven't heard a lot from him, but he's been strong as a junior. Young guy, 21 years of age. What a fantastic ride for Holland.
You can bet that old Nico Vullios is up there in the box, maybe a little bit shaking in his boots, because when you know who your competition is typically.
Well, when you talk about young French domination, here is the man, Cedric Gracia, 20 years old. He was 3rd at last year's World Championships.
This guy is the crazy Frenchman. He's the opposite of Nico Vullio. Vullio, very quiet, very intense. This guy is flamboyant. He likes to get big air. He's got the BMX background. Super showman. He's tried to tone himself down just a little bit. Focus on his riding. Get himself down the hill fast, because ultimately, he's got to beat Vullio. 7 seconds back now on the split. He's not going to take over the leadership today. A little bit disappointed. I'm sure he will be at the finish line, but you never know how much trouble he had earlier on in the course.
Looks like almost a little bit of recklessness coming through those trees there. He carried an incredible amount of speed through that section.
In this kind of a course, it just doesn't suit recklessness. You've got to stay in control, because if you get pulled off your line an inch with the mud, you're sliding, boom, right into a tree. You tag a tree, that's a second here, a second there.
Saw that with Missy Giove, a very reckless and courageous rider. Didn't have all that great a ride in the women's downhill. Now Cedric Gracia, not the greatest split time. Have to beat 4:52.38 to move to the top spot. He is not even going to be under 5 minutes. 5 minutes, .94, so he's 4th overall. The men's downhill world championships and last year's World Cup champion Corrado Herin, the Italian, is riding now.
And Herin had a fantastic year. He won 3 World Cups, really coming out of nowhere, as they say. He had done very little on the World Cup circuit before, and he has done very little since. This year, a completely disappointing season for Herin, but he qualified well. He's come down the mountain good early on in this race, and he's 7 seconds out, but he cannot keep it on the pedals. These rocks starting to kick up and drop people.
Well, you see it there again. He was able to maintain. He made a mistake, yes, but he stayed on his bike, which is just very difficult thing to do at this point. These guys are tired from holding on to the handlebars and from sprinting, as you can see, in and out of every one of those corners, not to mention the fact that they're expected to do well. They were fast in the qualifying time. They know they've got to beat 5 minutes.
A lot of body English usage here, just getting around these turns. The Italians having a disappointing world championship so far, and it will not be turned around by this man, Harim, but he has a decent time, all things considered.
His best finish at the Worlds was a 94th Vail when he finished third. He's not even going to break 5 minutes, so Gerwin Peters continues to be the story.
Go!
Spain's Oscar Saiz, the 25-year-old, 22nd in the 1998 World Cup overall standings.
Saiz is sort of part of the Spanish Armada. He's taken over from the Misser brothers in that Spanish contingent of downhillers. Really come on strong here. 9 seconds out at the split as we drop down to the lower part of the course, working the Cannondale well. Hasn't had his best season due to some mechanical problems. So much of this sport is dependent on getting down the hill without trashing your equipment.
Well, and as you can see from this course, it's so easily trashed. All those bumps that they're going over all the time, no matter how finely tuned the suspension is, the bike takes a beating, and so does the body.
Volvo Cannondale rider now rolling in very cleanly. You watch some of the top guys and they make it look so easy. They don't even look like they're going as fast, but in reality they're going much faster. Great line through here at the bottom.
So our top three continues to be the same because Oscar Saiz isn't even going to break the 5-minute mark. 5:06.76 is his time in 12th place overall. So Gerwin Peters knows he is going to be on the podium.
Representing Spain with a time of 5:06.76.
Only 2 riders left to challenge Gerwin Peters. Gianluca Bononomi came out of nowhere in the seeding run, the 30-year-old Italian, 24th in the 1998 World Cup overall standings.
The man from Lucca, Italy, 30 years old, a lot of experience, very quiet, reserved, not the type you would think of as a downhiller, but he's focused, he's strong, and he is fast. The Italian national champion coming into this. Great qualifying time, as you said, Peter.
Great qualifying time, not that great of an intermediate time here. He's about 7.5 seconds back. Doesn't bode well for him coming into the bottom. Oh, he almost did a front wheelie there. Luckily, he didn't have too much hands on those front brakes, otherwise he would have gone all the way over.
It certainly ensures that Gerwin Peters at least is getting a silver medal for Holland as we get down with only one of the great riders to go, Nicolo Vullo.
Gianluca Bononomi, the Italian, doesn't look like he's going to challenge the time of Gerwin Peters. So what a story from Holland. Gerwin Peters, 4:52.38 is his time. Bononomi's time is almost, it's over, 10 seconds back. So we've seen Anne-Caroline Chausson from France win the women's downhill. Can Bouillot make it a sweep for the French? He has never lost a world championship downhill race. 3 times world junior champion, 3 times world senior champion. He won the World Cup in 98, 96, 95.
Off to a great start, typically smooth. Nice speed. If anybody can maintain his confidence up at the top, it was Nico. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to break 5 minutes, overcome Gerwin Peters.
This man with the seemingly impenetrable armor comes through the split. He has the fastest time. 6 times he has faced the competition at a world championship level in the last 6 years, and 6 times he has won. He is seemingly indefeatable.
Well, you can see the way he floats on top of his bike as he's going through those rocky sections. This guy is just as comfortable as can be on 2 wheels.
The man from La Grave de Pays, France, wants to put une blessure grave, which means a serious or fatal accident towards everyone else here. He is enjoying the crowd. Fantastic ride. Look at that accomplishment.
Nicolas Bouillot, it will be a huge upset if he does not win, and he is going to beat the time of Gerwin Peters, 4:47.89, and he is once again your world champion of downhill mountain biking.
Oh, incredible. Not that we didn't expect it, but once again, he does it with such class, and he does it by 5 seconds, which in downhill time is huge.
Imagine waiting at the top of the hill. You know you're going last. You know what everyone else has done. You maintain focus all the way throughout. You've heard all the good rides, all the good times. At least you get the feedback. And look at that. That is one proud man right there.
And his French teammates congratulating him. So France once again on the podium, first and third. Vouillot first, Pascal third. And how about the story of Gerwin Peters in second place, and Vouillot? That is a sight we have seen so often at the World Championships.
He's still the one to beat, Nico.
Are we ever going to see anyone who is not French climb onto the top podium? They are going to own the World Championship jerseys for all of mountain biking at this rate.
So there are your final standings, the top 5. 2 Frenchmen along with Gerwin Peters are on the podium, and then the second 5, Cedric Gracia, another Frenchman, and Brian Lopes, the American, comes in 7th place.
What's up at the Worlds? 1998, Mount St. Anne. Peace.
Et c'est dans les mains, mesdames et messieurs, de ce championnat du monde réussi de avec les femmes juniors.
And away we go with the very best junior women in the world. A nice crowd, a beautiful day, and we are underway.
It's a little too fast for me.
And a quick look at the runners as they go up the hill. And they're making a very good work of it. Still right here.
The UCI World Mountain Bike Championships.
Here comes Yorkie.
Party time.
I hope for everybody that they will have good results and may the best win.
Et bienvenue au monde entier ici chez nous au Mont-Sainte-Anne. Welcome to the world at Mont-Sainte-Anne. Thank you very much. Merci.
It's really fun. Party, party, party.
Okay, good, yeah, thanks. See ya. Mom, hi, Mom.
This is Eric Carter wearing number 1. He'll be on the right of your screen going against another American. That's Sean Palmer, the snowboarder turned downhiller turned dual champion.
This is going to be a nice battle royale, I tell you that. These guys, not that there isn't any love lost, but they know what is at stake. Eric Carter, the #1 qualifier in the round coming into 32. Now it is just going to be a savage battle to get down through this first. Holy mackerel, Eric Carter just shows what happens when you get a little over-amped. So Sean Palmer, always graced with some good luck. He gets to just show off how much talent he has at making the very sweet cross-ups down there. Carter will give it the same up. You know, crowd loves it. Eric Carter says, hey, not my night. Rank #1 just shows ya.
Didn't have a great ride in the downhill, so have a little bit of fun here tonight. Getting ready to show off. And look at the crashing for Carter. Whoa,
man. Nice exit, man. He just took the parachute line.
All right, and Palmer's going to be facing the winner of this round in the round of the Crazy 8. This is Philip Polk wearing number 8. He is going to be on the left of your screen. And number 9 is Philip Tinsman from the USA.
Tinsman very strong in this event. A lot of nerves. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Get your foot back in. These guys got to clip in. A lot of them using clip-in pedals. Some use flat pedals. Like to keep their feet out, but these guys are using not BMX style, downhill style pedals. Tinsman trying hard on the right. Oh, this is the battle. No, Polk gets it through that first line.
Oh.
Sorry, stuffed him. No holds barred racing right here. Philip Polk has got this run easily. So Tinsman trying to make up for a loss, could not get past. And so Polk has the right of way, and when he takes advantage of it like that, what are you going to do? So Polk has a nice, easy ride into the round of 16.
Where he'll face, round 8, where he's going to face Palmer. And what do you, look at this. You see yourself getting out there, Davis?
I kind of like this stuff. I used to do that on a road bike, and I'll tell you, it's worse to fall on road.
All right, number 4 is Scott Beaumont from Great Britain, taking on the Irishman, Glenn O'Brien.
Glenn O'Brien in the green on the right side. Again, the battle for that first car. O'Brien very good at the start. Comes through clean. Yeah, the luck of the Irish is still holding tonight. Glenn O'Brien under the lights, driving strong. This is a good battle, though. He's You try to get by, there is no room. All Glenn O'Brien has to do is shut the door, and the door closes hard in this case.
He's even laughing to himself. He's having fun. Take a look at that. There's a replay of this crash. As he tries to pass him on the inside, he's got to go through the gate, so he knows he doesn't have any room to spare, and he's on his backside.
Stuffed.
All right, Gary Hausman, number 5, is on your left from the U.S., taking on Takashi. Oh, boy. Help me here, Davis.
Oh, that's easy. Takashi Tsukamoto.
Thank you.
And he is the Tsukamoto man. He had a good ride, controlled it all the way down in the round of 32. Now he's going up against a strong rider in Gary Hausman. Hausman, young man for the United States. He is a junior rider, but this guy is savagely talented, very quick, very good on his bike. He can do amazing things with a bike. Now let's see, they're getting set.
A little bit of a hold up out at the start.
Okay, 21 and 5. 10 seconds. Five seconds.
All right, so Hausman on the right side, driving down hard. Excuse me, yeah, look at that fight. Look at that fight for the line. Oh, baby. This is great. Tsukamoto is getting the benefit every single time. Woo.
Hausman takes the fall, and Tsukamoto is going to move on to the round of Crazy 8.
Let's not give it up. Hausman's trying to find the passing room. He's not going to get by.
Almost spoke too soon.
Boy, I tell you what, Tsukamoto has benefited both times from his nice relaxed start. Watch this, watch this. Tsukamoto loses the start, and Hausman is too amped. He cannot get around the turn. Tsukamoto is charmed.
Here is one of our top Americans, Brian Lopes, number 2. He'll be on the left of your screen, taking on Nigel Page from Great Britain.
Nobody better, nobody stronger than Mr. Brian Lopes. This guy, as we said earlier, he won the World Cup. First time they had a World Cup overall title. He is extremely quick. The guy is a total cat. His claws are out every time. His acceleration is unparalleled in the sport of cycling in the world. Watch this start. This guy drives it like nobody's business. Brian Lopes is so savvy. He's going to have a fight on his hand, though. No, he lost the start. Watch him try to.
Oh!
Okay, who's up quicker? Who's up quicker? Brian Lopes.
Page.
You know what we said? Remember what we said? Brian Lopes fastest in qualifying, but that does not mean anything. Ah! He scooped him. First time we've seen a pass. First time we've seen a pass out of that first jump. Look at Brian Lopes showing exactly why. He is the man.
That's right. He's the number 2 seed as well. Brian Lopes with a great ride moves on to the round of the Crazy 8. Check this out, Davis. They both fall, and then Nigel gets up quicker, but then Lopes makes the pass.
This is what you gotta love about this sport, man. It is no holds barred. It's one line. It's slippery out there. I mean, it rained half of the day, so.
Jan Lundman from Sweden, number 7 on the left, taking on Francois Boud, number 23 from Canada. This crowd has been getting into it all night long. You know they're going to get into it majorly for the man from Canada, number 23.
Lundman wearing the blue Sverige jersey. So again, it's so important on the start. You got to have quickness, you got to have power, and you got to be focused on getting the right line through those bumps. And Lundman, you think he's got a problem with that? He is just extremely strong. When you are young and you're trying to be a good BMX rider, so important to work on your strength, work on your savvy on the bike. You just got to spend so much time playing with your bike, working it through angles, jumps, anything you can do, and that is what makes a man like Lundman get down that hill quickly. He is just extremely fast.
We're going to see a great round in the Crazy 8 with Lopes and Lundman going at it. All right, now moving on. Will Longden, number 3 from Great Britain on your right, and Jürgen Benke, number 14 on the left from Germany.
Benke from Germany, lives in America, lives very nearby in Colorado. To me, oh, we got one down. Will Longden hit it hard. He's running back for his bike, but Benke can laugh now. I mean, we're laughing, but this is serious falls these guys are taking. It really shows how tough. I mean, you talk about a hit. This is Terrell Davis getting slammed by half of the Green Bay Green Bay Packer defense, man. I mean, he's getting crunched on those hits.
Well, he looks back to see if he's okay. He's moving on to the round of the Crazy 8. Here it is again.
Now watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's so easy to get bent out of shape now. He makes it look good. He kind of threw in a couple rolls. The crowd is digging that.
Corrado Heron, number 6 from Italy, is going to be on your left, going against the Slovenian Filip Silic, wearing number 11.
Heron, Mr. World Cup champion from '97. He's very quick, fairly small in stature, big in results last year. Not a spectacular career, but last year, 1 year in his life, he was unbeatable. And that is sometimes good enough for the man. On the left, Corrado Heron, the Italian machine, is rolling through. He's got a good line. He's sweet, no problem. He's just got to stay clean now. Very hard to pass. Again, all we saw was the savvy of Brian Lopes, and the only guy who was able to pass anybody past that first jump. And there is no problem for Heron to advance at this point.
So Corrado Heron moves on for the men's to the round of the Crazy 8. The women Crazy 8 when we return from Mont Saint Anne. Now ready for the Crazy 8 for the women. First, Tara Yanis wearing number 1, and Helena Kurendova, the Czech rider, wearing number 8. She is on the right of the screen.
Yanis, the Specialized Mountain Dew BMX specialist. Showing why, because she has a nice line on the right side, but I tell you what, she's got to battle in that first turn. Could be an accident. Woo! Just made it through the gate. Yanis, very savvy for a young rider. She really shows, you know, in the sport of BMX, which is similar to the dual, this is the kind of thing they do. They do the bumps, they do the jumps, and it's a lot of head-to-head mass start. So she's very used to this kind of competition. You see how low she gets on the bike, drives it through those bumps. Beautiful ride for Tara Yanis. She will advance to the 4s.
And she is our first woman to move on to the semifinals. Congratulations, Tara. Up next, our second round from the Crazy 8, Tara, Ty Lee Muxlow, wearing number 5, and Lisa Shear on your right, number 4 from the U.S.
Muxlow using the BMX style, flat pedals, tennis shoes, no step-in pedals. Some of the riders do some of the other, and you see the problem with that because Ty Lee lost her pedal, which means her foot came off, so she lost the control. Out of that start, this is a great one. Oh yeah, no. Okay, so that was interesting because they fought so hard for the line. Muxlow could not hold it, and she almost pushed Lisa Shear right off the course. Lisa Shear, good control to stay on the line. Yeah, a lot of strength because she's got to push that bike back into the dirt, get those tires to grip, so Shear will advance nicely.
So we have in one of our semifinals, Lisa Shear and Tara Yanis, a full USA semifinal.
Okay, look at this battle to get in that first gate. So important. Ty Lee, she couldn't make the turn, and on the slick grass, just biffed it. Lisa Shear enjoying her run down back to the top.
Now we have the veteran versus the young upstart. Giovanna Bonazzi wearing number 3 on your right, and Sari Jorgensen, number 6, the Swiss rider, the young, top of the World Cup standings, second in the World Cup standings this year. Jorgensen
and Bonazzi, this is a great generational battle right here. It's the new and the old. Not to call Benazzi old. She's a lot younger than I am, but be interesting to see what happens right here because the battle is always through that first point. Sorry, Jorgensen says, excuse me, you might be older, but I'm not going to be polite for you, all right? Sorry, Jorgensen, very savvy. Benazzi not even having a chance. I tell you, the quickness of youth in this particular discipline is so critical. And sorry, Jorgensen, excuse me, is very quick.
Jorgensen is going to move on to the semifinals. Giovanna Benazzi, her night is over in the dual world championships. Our next round, we should have Marla Streb, number 7 from the U.S., another veteran. She is on your right, taking on number 2, Katrina Miller, the Australian. She is the top woman on the World Cup standings this year in the dual championships.
It's going to be a tough battle right here for Marla Streb. Katrina Miller is extremely quick, and you can see the difference. Marla Streb, a tall rider. She's not used to driving out quite so quick. They're having a good battle to get into the line, but Katrina Miller is just too quick. Marla Streb making a game play for it, but she cannot keep up. Oh! Marla Streb came up behind Miller. Miller lost her pedal, slowed down, and Streb just banged right into the back of her back wheel, and that put her down. So, sorry, Marla Streb. Katrina Miller takes it.
So Katrina Miller moves on to the women's semifinal. She won 6 World Cup races this year in the duel. She will take on Sarah Jorgensen from Switzerland. And in the other semifinal, Lisa Shear and Tara Yanis from the U.S. That's the women's semifinals. The men's Crazy Eights coming up. Our first for the men's of the Crazy 8. And it's going to be Sean Palmer taking on Filip Polk from Slovenia.
Polk on the left. He's going to be a little bit nervous. He knows the reputation of a guy like Sean Palmer. Sean Palmer only has to look over at a guy like Filip Polk, and Polk starts quaking. He has got the ultimate pre-race psych, Sean Palmer. I saw him just bashing guys in the helmet with his hand. He had guys rolling away from him going, it's okay, Sean. I'll get out of your way. Oh, sorry, false start, Mr. Polk. Mr. Polk just rolled right over the barrier, so I don't know if they disqualify him in this case or if he gets a one more shot at it. Nope, he's out. Mr. Palmer, nice advance to the top 4.
So Sean Palmer is going to move on to the round of the semifinals. The American moves on, the snowboarder, dual, and downhill. Is very talented.
Napalm. Napalm is going to start going and burning here. The closer he gets to the final, the savager he gets. He's having a good time. Napalm just needs to walk it back up the hill now. Oh, you got to go around the gate. Don't want to be disqualified. Like Billy Polk. So Polk blew it at the start line, going right over the top of the gate. Look at this anticipation. He almost killed himself. Well, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to be quick. They
these guys like obstacles too. You know, they like to go over everything. They don't want to wait for this gate to go down.
Yeah,
all right, back up at the top.
Your buddy Tsukamoto.
Glenn O'Brien, number 20 on the right, and Takashi Tsukamoto.
All right, Japan against Ireland. Yep, good run. I got to say, Glenn O'Brien has the speed here, but you never know. Tsukamoto, he is really, really lucky. Let's see if the Irish green luck goes over the Japanese luck.
10 seconds.
We got 10. So you can see the tenseness. They start, boom. See, he gives him 5, and then he goes after about a second. Look at the speed on the right. Glenn O'Brien is much faster than Tsukamoto. That's what we've seen. So O'Brien truly will take this. No problem. What did I say? What did I say? He's going to take it. What does he do? He stuffs himself. Tsukamoto, the guy who is very likely the slowest man in this field, is going in.
I was already writing O'Brien's name into the brackets. I already had him written in. Okay, he's moving on. He's going to face Sean Palmer in the semifinals.
The Emperor of Japan is pulling the strings right now. This has got to be fixed. I'm telling you. Watch this. He's a mile ahead, and he hits that slick grass. Good grief.
Takashi Tsukamoto going on to the semis to take on Sean Palmer. We got Brian Lopes, number 2 on your right, taking on Lundman, number 7 from Sweden.
This is going to be a great race. Lundman, we've seen, is very fast. Lopes, obviously very fast. On the right side, tricky to find the line out of the start. Getting ready to go.
5 seconds.
Boom, 5 seconds. So you know it's an early start if you're up there. You're watching the timer. Brian Lopes on the right, driving really strongly. Nobody faster than this man. He is very savvy on his bike. And again, he is not going to make the mistake that we just saw O'Brien do. He stays low to the ground, keeps his pedals, his tires right in sync so that he is never pushing himself out. Brian Lopes, the master at this event.
Well, he won 3 out of the last 4 World Cup races in this event, and he moves on to the semifinals. Very impressive. And he's going to take on the winner of our next Crazy 8 competition. These two, Jürgen Benecke, number 14, on your right, taking on Corrado Herin from Italy. Those are 2 big names on the downhill circuit.
Yeah, 2 big names, 2 veterans. These guys, between them, have about 70 years in the bank. So some of the veterans on the circuit going head-to-head here in a great event, the duel here on Mont Saint Anne. The crowd going wild now. The 2 old guys, the legends on the circuit. Benecke looking for the line, but Corrado Herin got it. They're going to fight. Sorry, stuffed ya. Corrado Herin, the Italian, is no forgiveness for a German. He's still paying him back for the war there.
So Corrado Herin moves on to the semifinals for Italy. He's going to take on Brian Lopes, and we will leave the history lessons for some other documentary. The semifinals for the dual championships, Lopes and Herin. And in the other semifinal, it's Palmer taking on Takashi Sakamoto.
10 seconds.
Time now for the women's semifinals. Number 1 is Tara Yanis from the U.S. and Lisa Shear, number 4 on the right.
Big fight from the USA right here. Tara Yanis looking good, coming down there, but she got slowed by the bump. Still, she is savvy enough to get in the lead. Yanis is almost unbeatable. Should be a great matchup into the final if she can hold this lead. Yanis just so incredibly strong. You can see the quickness, stays low to the ground, drives through the pedal. Tara Yanis is just the BMX queen, and she's really proven it into the duel as her career develops. Specialized Mountain Dew rider into the finals.
So Tara Yanis moves on to the finals, and the U.S. will have 1 or 2 of the top spots in the Dual World Championships. Now to our other women's semifinals. Sari Jorgensen, number 6, will be on the right of your screen, and Katrina Miller, number 2 from Australia. These 2 ladies 1 and 2 in the World Cup standings this year.
This is going to be a beautiful battle right here. Katrina Miller on paper looking better. She's so quick out of the start line. Had a little bit of trouble there, had a good start, but did not get all the power into it. And now, whoa, she almost went over the top. Still, Katrina Miller, terrific balance there. She started having her back wheel come up high, and she just pushed the bike back down. That shows the power and savvy. Katrina Miller will go into the finals against Tara Yanis, 2 of the best dual gals in the world getting into the finals here. So Sari Jorgensen not quick enough with Katrina Miller to completely in control here.
So the top 2 seeds move on to the finals. Sari Jorgensen will take on Lisa Shear in the consolation round. Now for the men's semifinals, Sean Palmer, number 17, is going to be on the left, and our favorite at this point, Takashi Sakamoto from Japan, number 21. What else is going to happen in one of his rides? We've seen a little bit of everything.
The Palm goes without the goggles. He's just focusing on that roll. It's getting darker out. The lights are getting a little bit brighter. A lot of flash going on. Huge crowd on the mountain tonight, rocking and rolling, getting loose as they get down towards the final. The Palm is going to like that, no question about it. And I tell you what, if Sakamoto beats this guy, then I
we'll
give it
really
up.
know
I give it up, because this has been an incredible run for the Japanese rider all the way through. Not so quick, but always good luck.
The 21st seed.
The Palm already drives it off. He's got the lead right out of the box. Nice line on the left side of the course, very smooth. He's seen the mistakes some of the other riders have made against Sakamoto, and he just wants a clean run, no problem. He holds a big lead, really showing the speed now. When Sakamoto doesn't have the advantage of somebody turfing themselves, then you can really see the difference right here. So Palmer, no questions asked. He's going into the finals. Terrific ride for Sean Palmer.
So we definitely have one U.S. rider in the final, Sean Palmer. And to find out who he'll be riding against, let's go back up to the top. Number 2 is Brian Lopes. He is on the right, taking on Corrado Herin, number 6 from Italy. This should be a great one.
I tell you what, Lopes is going to do everything he can to meet up against Napalm. Those 2 go at it quite a bit on the circuit throughout the season here.
10 seconds.
Lopes comes out on top more often than not, but he has to get past Herin here. And on this course, you never know what's going to happen. Clean start, Lopes on the right. Extremely fast start. Beautiful line. Lopes takes a sweet line. He double jumped that last bit of bumps coming out of the start, and that was a key for him, Hareen. No way he can make it back. And you know what Lopes does so well is as soon as he lands from a jump, he's accelerating. The RPMs he gets out of his legs are just phenomenal. This guy could have been great in almost any discipline of short distance bike racing.
So we have an All-American final in the men's dual championship. Sean Palmer and Brian Lopes. Tsukamoto is going to take on Corrado Hareen in the consolation round. Finals of the women dual championships, and it is Tara Giannis, #1 on the left, taking on Katrina Miller, the top 2 seeds. Katrina Miller from Australia.
Giannis #1 and Miller #2. You cannot get better than this right here, right now.
Look at the focus on Giannis's face.
Giannis is so extremely good at putting everything out of her mind and just riding it down the hill. This is going to be a real fight right here. I got to say, Giannis, potentially the fastest on this hill. She was best qualifier, but Katrina Miller is really savage when it comes to one-on-one. Who can get that right line through the start? And it looks like Giannis has it. Giannis took a great line. Miller had a very good start, but she got stuffed in some bumps, but she's still coming back. Oh, too big of an air. She had the line. She could have got it, but she went for the show, and she ended up killing all her speed through that turn. So Giannis making a beautiful ride. There is no way Miss Miller is going to come back on her.
So Tara Giannis ensures an American sweep here for the dual world championships. Katrina Miller, the World Cup champion, comes in second, and that's a very happy young American girl. And there, the spirit of competition. How about that?
Yeah, Giannis, first time we've seen her smile. She has been very intensely focused this entire time. The Mountain Dew Specialized rider from the United States, a certain rider to watch in the future beyond dual slalom. Love to see her get some development in the downhill discipline. Obviously, she's got great style, great technique, very popular on the circuit. Look at that nice smile. Fantastic.
Back up to the top in the All-American final in the men. #17 is the former snowboarder Sean Palmer, and #2, Brian Lopes on the right.
Palm against Lopes. Napalm is going to have a hard time here against Brian Lopes. Look at the start by Lopes. Man, oh man, he got a length right out of the start. See if he takes that sweet line. Absolutely no contest here. If Brian Lopes can stay up, he is just so superior on this. And the Palm is just not going to be able to get into it tonight. No napalm tonight, more like a palm tree.
Brian Lopes right out of the starter gate. No problem, no question. Brian Lopes wins the 1998 Dual World Championship. So it's Lopes and Giannis, and Sean Palmer comes in second. So a banner night here at Mont Saint Anne for the U.S.
The U.S. does a good ride in both. Brian Lopes is making some consolation. The guy has the best smile, Lopes. He just absolutely is so dominant in this event. He left Palmer rooted at the start line. I mean, he got it right away. Brian Lopes is absolutely unbeatable. He is really like the Nicolas Voulot of the downhill in this dual discipline.
John, good job. All the way down there against Brian Lopes. That's a tough draw. He's very fast. Did he get you out of the gauge there? Yeah, he whole shot me with that little BMX skill he's got.
Begun the start for the Women's Elite Cross Country World Mountain Biking Championships from Mont Saint Anne, and the start so critical. We saw some crashes in the men's under 23 and the junior men's cross country world championships, and the women off to a very clean start, and that crucial first hill coming up. Remember, they do one short lap, and then after that, it's 5 laps on the 4.4-mile course.
Laurence Leboucher, #3 from France, is right into the front now. Now, France has had an unbelievable occasion here at the World Championships. Last lap in this Women's World Championship. All of the riders all day have been chasing this fantastic rider from France, Laurence Leboucher, who has taken the lead from the gun from the first pedal stroke in this race. Susan, she has led this event, and she has just been primed and flying all the way throughout.
We've seen the top of her helmet all day long, and I'd really like to know what it is on top of that helmet. It looks like a pig painted on the front of her.
She's got a
gyro.
pig snout. So she's the little piggy.
Well, she's far from that. This gal is about 48 kilos, which barely tips the scale at 100 pounds.
Well, she's been hogging the lead all day. I'm sorry I had to.
I love that, Peter. Number 3 from France. Fantastic riding here as the entire French contingent. We cannot say it enough. It's just been really unbelievable. The downhillers have been so dominant. The cross-country riders have been dominant as well. So fantastic race for the entire French contingent here at the World Championships, and really the entire country has to be pleased. I mean, what is it with France this year? All right, no one would have expected them to win the World Cup in soccer. They win the World Cup. No one would have expected them to come to the World Championships in cycling and win virtually everything, and yet here they are doing it.
And we got another shot of Gun-Rita Dali in second place. Leboucher still our leader here at Mont Saint Anne. Less than a lap to go.
Now this is a very good position for Gun-Rita Dahl, the Norwegian, holding second position throughout this entire ride, going very steadily. Now we go back to the ski jump hill, and we see our rider from Canada, Alison Seidor, wearing number 2. She has held third position throughout this race. Not ideally what she would have wanted, but still a great ride for this champion, as she is on her home country and she is headed for a medal. She's 3 minutes 32 seconds back from our leader from France, Laurence Leboucher.
Bob Roll has left our booth.
It's not an easy thing to get a gold medal, but Laurence Leboucher is making it look seemingly so, as she has just been so fit and so fast throughout this entire cross-country women's mountain bike event. Taking the descent here, just very few tricky sections left, and she will roll across the line, the newly crowned world champion for France. And all of the women have been chasing and falling farther and farther behind on this woman, Laurence Leboucher. Just 2.5 kilometers to go.
Oh, that's so exciting. She is just having adrenaline course through her veins right now.
Gun-Rita Dahl here, 1 minute back, just over that, in second place, very secure with that. Super performance for the Norwegian.
She gets to train with the likes of people like Rune Højdahl, friend of hers who's done very well for himself on the men's World Cup circuit and World Championship wise. He's one of the people we'll be looking at in the men's World Championship race as well.
She'll be getting some good publicity going into the Olympics in Australia for the Norwegians. Of course, Norway, a Nordic country. They have such fantastic Nordic skiers.
Imagine the sports pages in France. All these winners.
They're getting tired of writing about cycling.
Talk about headlines.
They're going to be competing for heroes in France after this World Championships. That is for sure. So much of the Tour de France, the press was overridden by the scandal of the Festina team. Well, no scandals at all in this event. Certainly not as it concerns the French team. Their performance has been impeccable.
And it has been what you might call maybe a cloudy summer for France.
Laurence Leboucher, number 3 right here. She is one of the rainbow creators for the French contingent here at Mont Saint Anne. Almost into the last 1.5 kilometers yet from her title. Well deserved, such a fantastic rider, and on such a fantastic day, she has put everything, including this woman behind her, Alison Seidor, riding strongly into third position, but not having the kind of day she would have liked.
Well, you were talking about pots of gold a minute ago, and rumor has it that Laurence is looking for a new sponsor for 1999, and guess what? This is exactly what she wants to bring to the table when she's talking to them.
Hello, Volvo Cannondale. My name is Laurence.
And let's see, what did you do last year? Well,
what didn't I do?
Yeah.
Tricky section, descending here.
Here she is, Laurence Leboucher, the leader throughout today's World Championships from here in Mont-Saint-Anne, Quebec, Canada, the Women's Elite World Championships.
Can't even imagine what she's feeling right now. This is the best feeling in the world so far in her career. Oh, look at her. She's already feeling so great. Ready to acknowledge the crowd. They've been cheering her on all day long. It's giving me the shivers just thinking about it.
Second in the World Cup overall standings in 1998. It's been a cloudy, damp day here in Mont-Saint-Anne, but all rainbows for that young lady, Laurence Leboucher, the 1998 World Mountain Biking Champion in cross country.
You cannot imagine the feeling of putting those two arms up like that in a race, and you can see the exultation of her coaches, her team, coming in to surround her. This woman, such a fantastic ride on this very, very special day.
She did it with style, too. That's what's so impressive. She rode away from everybody at the beginning. She paced herself just right. She rode all the sections beautifully. Oh, look at the tears coming out. These are tears of happiness.
Yeah.
No other French woman has ever won this race before. In fact, in the history, only 5 women have won it. And now our 6th, Laurence Leboucher.
That says it all right there. Bike racing is about winning, and when you get to do it, do it.
And coming into second place now, Gunn Rita Dali, the 25-year-old from Norway. She finished 8th at last year's World Championships. Susan, she was right behind you, the 96 Olympics, but this is going to be a fantastic finish for her.
You know, I had one chance to be second at a World Championships in 1994, and I felt like I had won gold myself, and I'm hoping that Gunrita is going to be pleased with that, because that is no small accomplishment. She, too, rode away from everybody else, aside from Laurence, did a spectacular job. This is her best finish ever.
It is her best finish ever, and she will carry it forward into the future, because this woman will be looking to do one better. But right now, she cannot believe that she's going to get the silver. Look at that hair.
See, I told you she wanted to show off that hair, taking that helmet off.
Look at that do right there, says it all. She is so proud of being a Norwegian.
And here she is in her home country, Alison Seidor, the 3-time world champion. She's going to make the podium on not one of her best days, but that shows, Susan, just how talented she is. She doesn't have a good ride, and she's still on the podium.
You said it exactly, Peter. That just shows you the level that Alison Seidor has ridden at. The only unfortunate thing is she's been world champion 3 times, so anything less just doesn't quite make the grade, whereas anybody else in that pack would be so delighted with a bronze medal finish. I think, however, Alison is still going to be pleased. She held on really nicely the last hour and a half of this race.
No shame in finishing 3rd here in front of her home country fans from Canada. The great woman, Alison Seidor, will come across the line, perhaps not in the position expected. Her, as you said, Susan, a customary finishing 1st here in a World Championship event. She wanted it so badly, being from Canada, dreaming of this event, as Bob Roll said. Well, the dream may be tarnished, but no shame in being 3rd. She will be on the podium. She will get a bronze medal, and she still waves to the crowd.
Good for her. She is Such a great professional, and still a fine moment that she can really enjoy.
She won in 94, she won in 95, she won it all in 96, and as she waves to the crowd here at Mont-Saint-Anne in Quebec, Canada, Alison Sider will cross the finish line in third place. Another medal, this time bronze. Well, it looks like we didn't hear the gun, but they rolled off and they're underway here at Mont-Saint-Anne.
They did. They should have waited for that gun theoretically, but the momentum was following them.
Oliver kind of took off a little bit prematurely, but the race is underway. No question about it. Looks like a safe start. We've seen in some of the other events, a lot of crowding, some fighting there.
For leader Christophe Dupuis, nearing the start-finish line in the man-made section of this course here at Mont-Saint-Anne, and he's hearing it from the crowd as he has barely over a lap to go, and he will be world champion.
This is one of the flat sections of the course coming into the start-finish, and it gives the fans a great opportunity to see the riders for a little bit more than the 3 seconds that they might be blasting by.
These riders maintaining in tremendous lap speed, going just averaging under 22 minutes all the way through this race. Now the strategy is very clear for the French. Chiotti, he wants to get back into trying to win this race, and this man wants to try and hold him off, and he's going to do everything he can to stay ahead of Jerome Chiotti. Chiotti has lost a bit of time. This is his only opportunity both to regain some of his strength through the drinking of a bottle, as well as getting onto this hill where he can take advantage of his strength.
He's throwing away his food there. He's taking his last bit of water. Probably he's going to try to close this gap, but it's a pretty daunting task. Here's Mirhaga trying to stay on the podium, trying to maintain his slot for third. He is a ways behind.
Chiotti 21 seconds back through the start-finish line with a lap to go. Mirhaga will have to see his time. He's going to be barely under a minute back of Dupuis, and it's really approaching. Yeah, it's going to be about a minute flat back of Dupuis. So with 1 lap to go, and as he looks like he's laboring, things don't look very good for him, but he's got an excellent chance for the podium.
Well, as we're coming up to this long 1-kilometer hill that Jerome and Christophe Dupuis are already on, I'm wondering, since this is the last lap, this is the place where Jerome Chiotti needs to make his move. If he wants to catch up to Christophe Dupuis and in fact surpass him, this is where he needs to do it, and actually it doesn't look like it's going to happen here.
Well, it's not if this guy can help it. Dupuis looks so determined. Look at that face. He's almost riding with an anger and intensity. He's taking in the crowd's energy, and he's just let it flow through his body. He wants that title badly. Jerome Chiotti knows what it feels like to get that title, and Dupuis wants it. Meanwhile, in 4th place, Bas Van Doorn having a terrific ride. He has left Rasmussen in the dust behind him. Maybe not the dust, maybe the mud, but he's having a terrific ride in 4th. Let's see if Chiotti can bring it back. Everything going out on this guy. Look at the effort. Look at the shoulders, the sag. You can almost hear the breathing.
They look so different, Chiotti and Dupuis, going up that hill.
Yeah, that just shows you how in control Christophe Dupuis has been this whole race. And Jerome Chiotti, it's not often that we get to see him giving such effort on the climbs.
Bas Van Doorn, a minute 46 back in 4th place, so that shows you just how fast Dupuis and Chiotti are riding.
Here's Mirhaga. He is still about a minute ahead of Van Doorn. That's for the last slot on the podium here. Bronze medal would be great. You can tell the effort on his face there, the grimace. He's drawn, and he's just giving it all he's got to stay in that slot.
Our current leader, Christophe Dupuis, number 4, the Frenchman. Oh, just look how smooth he looks.
He still looks absolutely effortless. At this point in the race, he's on the last lap here. Doesn't look to be laboring at all.
Nice shot back to our 2nd place rider, and the gap continues to open. Dupuis showing no signs of weakness. He wants that jersey over this man, Jerome Chiotti.
Jerome has got his head down. He's going flat out trying to close this gap. He knows it's not over yet, but it's getting to be a little bit bleak. He's got to go now. At this point in the race, as leader, you do not want to make any mistakes. So flat right now would be an absolute disaster. So he's trying to ride smooth, not so smooth that someone catches him, but just the right combination of power and control to get himself in one piece to the finish, because he's got the rainbow jersey if he can do it.
You know, and I would say that holds true for 2nd and 3rd position as well. Those guys are looking to get medals here at the World Championships, and they need to know, they need to pay strict attention, stay focused these last 10-15 minutes.
Wow, he is just absolutely flat out sprinting right here. No feed zone help necessary there. He is just going to try to maintain his advantage over this man, Jerome Chiotti. Chiotti trying to stay in it here gamely, but he's losing time progressively. Really on this last lap, we have seen Dupuis find his form, and he's really just taking flight.
Let's give credit to this guy. He was hanging tough with the 2 Frenchmen, got dropped, but he hadn't got dropped far enough really to be in a huge amount of danger.
That's absolutely right.
We have seen some terrific racing up here at Mont Saint Anne, but we certainly have seen one dominant jersey, one dominant set of colors, red, white, and blue. Everybody around here knows La Marseille by heart, I am telling you.
Well, they're going to hear it again.
Likely so. This man has just about 2 kilometers to go yet. So clean, so focused all the way through. Fantastic ride.
Christophe Dupuis approaching the start-finish line here at Mont Saint Anne, and the crowd getting up for this finish for the Frenchman as he takes a look back, and he's not going to see any other riders.
Well, what satisfaction this guy feels, because last year he had 2 flats during the World Championships. Everybody thought he was going to win the race. He was in a position to win the race, and those flats kept him from it. So this is the sweetest day of this guy's life.
He waited an entire year to be able to get back into this position. You spend the whole year focused, you're training, you're riding, you're out there in all the worst weather, and inside your head, you're picturing the moment when you can come around the finish line, see nothing but that beautiful sign that you are going to win, and your hands get to go up.
Christophe Dupuis did not even finish this race in 96 and 97. In 98, he finishes before anybody else. The 1998 World Mountain Biking Champion, Christophe Dupuis, overcome with emotion.
Oh, he looks absolutely so full of joy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's crying coming over that finish line. That's really a feeling that you can't even describe to anybody else.
Such a fantastic moment for Christophe Dupuis. And let's take nothing away from the second place rider, Jerome Chiotti, the man with a perpetual smile, one of the great men in the peloton, so loved and respected.
Given the peace sign, number 2, the 1996 world champion, comes in second this year, very happy. What a big day for France, 1 and 2 on the podium.
Here comes Philippe Mirhagi, ready to get his congratulations coming through. He did a fine job. I'm sure he too will be extremely pleased. Look at him already raising his hands up, acknowledging the crowd. This guy is happy.
Christophe Dupuis came in first, Jerome Chiotti of France came in second, and now the Belgium. Philippe Mirhagi didn't even get the race last year, comes in third. He's on the podium. What a smile.
It's so heartbreaking watching your heroes fall. Yeah, you know how you love your whipping boys, seeing your evil around your town. Keep a steady hand in the loudest noise. There's a thing you might call coolness, and you got it all over you. Seeing things that some just stare. Of course you know, so never mind. What do you say? You sleep till Thursday and push away the rest of the world. Panic and pleasure have all come together. Just stop laughing. Soon I'll be scarred, so simple and sure. I just wanna be pure and find myself where I once was before. There's a thing you might call coolness, and you got it all over you. Seeing things that some just stare. Because you know, so never mind. What do you say? You sleep till so simple and sure. Just wanna be pure and find
Oh!
Yes, yes, yes! Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Yes, yes, yes!
Of the UCI World Mountain Bike Championships.
I wish them good luck. I hope for everybody that they will have good results and may the best win.